Hey everybody, it's JJ Talks, and it's Thursday on the Breakfast Club, and it is December 29th, 28th. It's Thursday still, so I am on time. Um, and I wanted to talk about, because it's almost New Year's, and this is my last video for 2017 for the Breakfast Club, I want to talk about forming habits, and kind of tie that in with New Year's resolutions, because, everyone always has New Year's resolutions, or many people do, and then other people get upset about it, and they say New Year's resolutions don't work, don't do them, they don't work. And I don't necessarily agree with that sentiment, so because it's just, it's almost the new year, I thought it would be nice to talk about, what it takes to form a habit, and to fundamentally change some of your values and characteristics as a person, because it is possible. It's hard, but it's possible. And then maybe talk about some of the ways in which I've done that, and then some of the things I hope to do in 2018, and then I would also like you guys to put your changes that you want to make, or resolutions, whatever you want to call them, and then like maybe give your advice or struggles on changing, breaking and making habits. So they say, I've seen in images on Facebook, that it takes 21 days to form a habit. And I don't necessarily know if this is true, but I certainly think that there is some substance to that, because you obviously need longer than a couple of days to form a habit, but it is possible to do in a reasonable amount of time. In my experience, generally what happens is like you're good for the first few days, and then once you get past a week, it becomes really difficult, and that's kind of like, no matter what it is. For a lot of times it's dieting, or changing your food eating lifestyle, whatever, because I know some people don't like the word dieting, they say lifestyle change. So, and it's easy the first few days because you're super motivated, but when that immediate motivation disappears, it's difficult for people to keep going, and so then the second and third week are kind of really hard, but then once you get past that point, it's a lot easier. And for some people that time span is different. For some people it's over a series of months. So like when I went vegetarian, it was really difficult for it was easy for the first couple months, and then for like 6 months to a year it was super hard, and then after that it was easy. But I definitely see this pattern of like, you're super motivated and you do it for a while, and then the direct extrinsic motivation goes away, so your intrinsic motivation goes away and becomes really hard, and this is where a lot of people fall off. And so something that I do is make a list of the reasons why I'm doing something, and a lot of times they're like very little reasons. For example, if someone's trying to lose weight, let's say like they want to be healthier, or they want to look better, or whatever, and that's nice, but it's not necessarily something that's going to hold you over when you're craving food, for example. And there are like these little things like, oh, I want to fit into this dress again, or whatever, write all those down as you think of them, and then come back to them later when you're going through that rough period, because it's important to remember that, that rough period isn't forever. You do get over it, and then all of a sudden that lifestyle change you're trying to make becomes your habit, generally. So like, I used to be a super unorganized person. Like, my parents literally had to send me to, never mind, that's too embarrassing. But I was so unorganized, and granted, I had 2 houses and I had no car, so I couldn't like go back and forth. But like, I'd leave my homework at my mom's and my uniform at my dad's, and all my shit was everywhere, and I had such bad grades. My freshman year of high school, I had like C's and D's. Planner, what's a planner? I don't fucking know. But now I literally plan out my day in 30-minute intervals. Like, I plan when I'm going to play video games, when I'm going to take a shower. I plan everything. Everything is in my planner. It all has a place. I write down all my homework. I get a 4.0. And that was something that my junior year of high school, I think, changed. Like, in my junior year of high school, I was like, hey, I'm getting shit grades. all my stuff's everywhere. I'm unorganized. I don't own a planner. Like, I don't know what's going on half the time. I'm going day by day. I don't want to live like this anymore. I want to be one of those people who's super organized and on top of everything. And now I am. And that's, and it was hard, and it was because that's not where I was naturally. And then, I did it, and I forced myself to do it for several months, and now it's like second nature to me. Like, I write everything in my planner. I have it with me all the time. So yeah, that's an example of something that I did that I changed about myself, because I definitely was not that kind of person before who cared about grades or homework or being organized on top of anything. And now, like, my coworkers and stuff now, if they saw JJ from high school, they would be like, who the fuck is that? Because it's so drastically different. And so I think it's just important to recognize that while it's not going to be easy to make these drastic changes, it's not impossible. And there are so many other people out there trying to do the same thing, and to develop a support network for that thing. It's kind of like, and this is so funny, but during that time period, I also changed my handwriting. My handwriting was very sloppy, and I painstakingly wrote each, I don't think I have anything handwritten, wrote letters how I wanted my handwriting to be, and I did that for months and months and months, and now that's my handwriting, and that's kind of like the, epitome, tangible example. But you have to go through that painstaking process that's difficult, and you just want to scribble it out, but you need to write your letters deliberately before that can be your regular handwriting. And it sucks and it's hard, but it's possible. And so before anyone tells you that New Year's resolutions are bullshit, I would just suggest that you think about that, because I think that there is something, though, dates and years and all of that is just, obsolete in the grand scheme of things, there is something very human about finding new beginnings to be refreshing and a blank slate, and that's totally okay. We do it all the time. Like, okay, well, starting tomorrow I'm going to do this, or starting on Sunday, or starting next week, next month, next year. It's the beginning of the year, and I think it's totally okay to indulge in that very human feeling and to take advantage of it if that's going to motivate you. And just know that you can make those changes that you want to make. And yeah, so I want to hear about any changes like that you've made in your own life, because I'd be interested. And then maybe, find someone who has similar goals to you, and maybe you guys can motivate each other, because that's always helpful. Anyway, I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas and other various holidays, and a Happy New Year, and I will see you guys in 2018.